Welcome to Straight Outta Jersey. Today's podcast is brought to you by Ace Sunglasses. Go to acesunglasses.com.au to purchase some of the best shades around. Use promo code MRG30 and receive 30% off selected brands. That's Ace Sunglasses, the shades of true champion. Powered by the Zapata brand studio. Straight Outta Jersey with Jersey Jay-Z and the Freak of New York, Gregg Valentino.
What's up, guys? It's Thursday. We are live. I am Joe Zapata, and with my brother from another mother, Gregg Valentino. What's up, Greg?
Not a whole hell of a lot. Same bullshit.
Same bullshit.
Just a dog chasing his tail, Did you get that video I sent you this morning, by the way?
Yes, I did. I did get that one. We're gonna talk.
Boy, you talked. Yeah, it was funny.
We're going to say hello to a couple people as we wait. We got CH. I think Diddy's an actual psychopath. We're going to talk about Diddy. We got Biggest Momos in there.
There we go.
Dave Smith.
And that's my boy. Dave Smith's my boy.
Dave Smith, Brian Eby. Dan Solana is in there. We got girl and everything. Brian. Natalia, how you doing? Morella's in there. John Mancini, how you doing, buddy? We're going to say hello to everybody. Also want to give out Independent Dreams. How you doing?
John Mancini.
Just do a quick house cleaning. Like and subscribe. Hit that button, that thumbs up button. Also like and subscribe to Gregg's channel. Also just a little shout out to Gina and Bella. Just want to wish them the best this weekend. Oh, shit, yeah, love them. They're going to get a little something from Uncle Joe. Yeah. So I'll hope them the best. Greg, I guess we want to start off a little bit. What people want to talk about is the Diddy party that me and you were at the other day. And actually, I took a picture of it, actually, and I'm going to post it right here. Me and you were at the Diddy party, and there we were partying in the New York Post. It was in the paper.
That's a great photo. Where'd you get that?
So that was me and
how did they sneak that out there?
What?
How did they sneak that out there?
I don't know how they got that out there, but that was me and you at the Diddy party. I got the baby oil here, so we get, for later on.
Did you know? I saw there's some fucking news reporter woman. Okay, now I think she's wrong, but she swears that wasn't really baby oil; it was GHB. I don't believe her. Okay, but I'm just throwing that out there. I saw this woman was saying it's GHB and all this other bullshit. I don't believe that. But
so if it's GHB, how do you explain the other 500 dildos? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Those are suppositories. What I want to know is, why do you have dildos that are they're fucking blue, yellow? I mean, they were like gay dildos because they were all the colors: pink, yellow, blue, red, green. Mm-hmm. I mean, I never seen a green dildo before, Yeah. Yeah, you got to get a green dildo.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, some of them were butt plugs, so let's give their butt plugs a little bit of a plug.
Okay.
But they were really to me, that's like a gay thing. Pick your dildo. We have all the color. There weren't that many flesh tones or black dildos in mixed in there. They were all colored fucking dildos,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Christopher K says, you can never have enough oils and dildos. I guess you can't. Guru Dave said it was a mean stash. I don't know.
That's it. It was Dave Palumbo's stash. I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Greg, you know who the person is. I've talked to you privately. Somebody told me, and I'm not going to say who, but allegedly was at a Diddy party. He's a famous person. I'm not going to say who. It's allegedly was there. He said he did not see anything crazy. Mm-hmm. He said, but as he left, you know how when you take your kids to a birthday party, they give you little goodie bags to take home. He was giving out cash, $5,000 in cash, and telling everybody what happens here stays here. Have a good time. Enjoy. So, I don't know. Allegedly, that's what happened. But who the person is?
Joe, if I was at that party, I'd be going in and out like this, taking a goodie bag every time I left. I come out of there with 40 goodie bags. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. And he's somebody that's monstrous in the music industry.
Yeah.
Monstrous.
Yep.
Monster rapper. Somebody huge who you talked to recently.
We don't want to. We're not going to say away. We don't want to. But you mentioned something to me, and like I said, we will talk about that.
I know exactly who it is. Yes, and if he says it, I believe it.
Yep. Wilson H. Hi, Joe. Hi, Greg. What's
Hey,
going
Joe,
on?
what's going on? Joe Wilson. I said, hey, Joe.
M.
Hey,
Traps.
Wilson,
What's up, fellas? How you doing? Biggest Momo said, I heard he's not eating because he's scared someone's going to put poison in his food. I've heard that too, Biggest Momo, that he's in prison and he's not really going to eat the food because he's scared. And I heard he might get transferred to Jersey. That's the rumor. He might get transferred because he said he's scared for his life. I don't know.
And you never know. He was more afraid of being, I think, in protective custody than being out in public, general public. That's what I read somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Greg would be taking a goodie bag in the can.
Dude, I would, for that amount of money for the, supposedly I don't know if it's true.
I don't know. Allegedly. We'll just say it's allegedly.
What's the little guy's name again? I always forget his name. Thank you.
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams was saying they offered him like $40 million. Dude, for $40 million, you could fucking, my asshole would be the size of the fucking Holland Tunnel and shit. I'd let all them fucking, you kidding me, for $40 million?
Mm-hmm.
Even let me tell you something. My girlfriend would be like, you better get your ass over there, get on all fours, and take those fucking, we need that money.
Mm-hmm.
For $40 million. And you guys sitting there reading this shit, or listening to this bullshit?
Yes.
If you're saying, I would never do that bullshit. If I piled that money in front of you and it puts a stack of your bills, your car payment, your this, your that, unless you live at home with your parents. But I'm saying, you'd be sitting there and that fucking smell that green cash and shit. All you do is put some fucking Ambisol or something on your ass so it don't hurt so bad. Numb that area a little bit and be like, okay, make believe you're at football practice. Yes. Did he come yet? Yes. You know, when you take that fucking $40 million, and all the relatives you haven't seen in your fucking like 50 years would start calling you up. Hey, what's going on? Listen, I'm having a little trouble.
I know your ass is sore, but can you give us that money?
It has to be a little sore, okay? But guess what? You'd have enough money to get that fixed.
Natalia actually said, any thoughts? Natalia said, any thoughts on the mayor of New York over by you? What do you think about that, Greg?
He's a corrupt piece of shit. And it just goes to shit. But actually, Guru Dave, if you're watching this shit, you know what I'm talking about, okay? That just goes to show you how the Democrats don't fucking play, okay? Because he's one of them, and he's supposed to be far left. And the minute he started saying, oh, shit, this far left is fucked up, I'm never going to get reelected staying over here, and I've destroyed the city. So let me start fucking going towards the right and a little bit middle. They're like, now you got AOC, who sucked his dick when he first got in there. Oh, black and this and that. Now she's like, get him out of there. Fucking because he's abandoned the far left. And now the DOJ, which, we're biased over here. We prosecute crime. Unless it's by migrants raping children and all that, then, it's a different story. But we process crime, especially when it's somebody who fucks us over. So the DOJ, that just goes to show you, people who say the DOJ is not corrupt, you're out of your fucking mind. You're out of your mind. Because that was one of their own. But when you go against them, okay, they're not, see, the Republicans is stupid. Who the fuck's texting me? The Republicans is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Think about this. Think about this. The Republicans let George Lopez, whatever the fuck his name is, maybe not George Lopez. What the fuck's his name? They're doing it. The dude from Long Island. George Lopez is a comedian. Is George, whatever the fuck his name is. The one that was George Sanchez, is it or something? Yeah, him. They didn't like his little fucking dirty doings and shit like that. Illegal campaign funds, which who doesn't? You name one of them fucking big people in government that hasn't played around with campaign funds. Give me a break, okay? They all, they get paid $100 and something thousand. Meanwhile, they all live in mansions and driving fucking Ferraris and shit. Get out of here.
Yeah. Anyway. M Trap says the change oil light popped up on my dashboard and I felt Diddy's presence behind me.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. But
maybe Christopher K says maybe a hot tranny, but no guy is going to penetrate me for no amount of money. I don't know, Chris. $100 million?
You'd let some big 400-pound black dude from prison fucking rape the shit out of you for that kind of money, Christopher. Trust me, I'd be right next to you. I'd say slide over. I need some of that. I'll take half that. Chris, you can get 20. I'll get 20. You know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised how money talks. Everyone says no, but
Exactly. You know,
it's just saying, you know, listen, it just did you using the Justice Department against us. So that's all that's proof right there. Meanwhile, the Republicans get one guy that they don't like and they throw him out. Now it's this Democracy. You idiots. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Windward attack, Greg.
Windward, what's going on?
Dirty Italian Guidos. You know, Greg, when you were singing Baby Baby, the song Baby Baby from Justin Bieber, do you notice he says baby, baby, oh, is it baby, baby oil? He's saying?
You never know.
You never know, right? It sounds like it could be baby, baby oil.
I think that he got I don't know. He was not too happy with things because, you know, he was like, yo, you fight like that nasty man Pink, whatever her genders is, was trying to fucking like kiss him and fucking hug him and shit like that. And he's like, yo, I feel fucking violated. You know what I mean?
Dancing said George Soros. That was the guy, George Soros.
Yeah. Well, George Soros, what? What about him? He's no good. But there's others, bro. There's others that are involved over there. You know, there's some big.
Bradford Mallprick said, "Did Greg sell his Wolfman mask yet?"
No, that's not a Wolfman mask. It's right here. My girlfriend's putting it together. Look, it's not a mask.
What is that? I thought it was your mother-in-law for a second.
It goes on the top. Well, my mother-in-law's right here. Here she is.
Okay.
There she is.
Oh, there she is. Okay, there she goes. Okay.
Anyway, this is Dave's funny. You know, what do you do? He knows what I do.
You work. Right?
He knows I bust my fucking ass. You know what I mean? And, for 20 years I've had to fucking pay. You know, I paid every bill in his house, even when my nieces lived here and shit like that. But let me tell you something. What does he do? Oh, I work hard. What do you do all day? Oh, yeah, here's a cookie cutter fucking, here's this diet, here's that fucking protocol, here's this, you know what I mean? I wish I could sit home and make millions doing that. I get me and my girlfriend was, you know, Joe, you've been in the house many times. Yeah. We got a dirty job because we're out there fucking hauling. I've destroyed my cars by fucking taking, you know, like treadmills and shit, you know, hanging it out the trunk, strapping that shit on my fucking wheels that is far off the ground, you know?
Yeah. John Mancini said, Greg, Dave was busting your chops with Wendy and Lee yesterday about your gallbladder.
Oh, Jesus. Listen, aren't you
on that show yesterday?
Aren't you guys sick of the gallbladder, though? You guys are not sick of the gallbladder. It wasn't the gallbladder when we were out there. It was the diabetes. The diabetes. Mm-hmm. I've already showed you guys my book, Joe. You know.
I know.
I'm diabetic, and we're eating all day, all night when we're out there. And it doesn't matter, bro. You can eat bacon. When you're a diabetic, anything you eat, your liver fucking just starts secreting sugar and shit. You know what I mean? And I'm fucked. So my fucking sugar was like fucking 200 and something. And I had to, you know, just because I didn't want the bun. The guy didn't understand it. Wait, you know what? So you want the hot dog, but you don't want the bun. Yes. Okay. But you want, what about the hamburger? I said, no bun on that one either. We had to eat that because Dave brought us to this fucking schivazzo place that had a dead mouse in the fucking bathroom. I'm like, look at, this is a dead fucking mouse. It could have been a rat. I don't know. But it was dead. It was like already petrified and hard. So nobody cleans that bathroom. I brought Jimmy the Bull in there. Jimmy Palacia. And Jimmy's like, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, you know, so I didn't want the they made a big thing about it.
Yeah, John Smith said the gallbladder jokes have been overplayed.
Oh my God.
Biggest Momo said the same thing. It's getting old now.
Oh my God, the gallbladder.
Yeah. You know, a quick story, Greg, and I told you this already earlier. And Greg, you have a dirty job to begin with, and you're always working hard. But
right.
I had to take my car to the dealership to get some work done on it. And I went to the Cadillac dealership. When they fixed it and everything, they normally wash and clean the car. They wax it and bring it out to you. So my Cadillac was done. I came out, jumped in it. As I was coming out of Brogan Cadillac on Route 46, it was like a parade of cops. And I don't know what was going on. There was bikes, there was cops, there was trucks. And there were 3 trucks, police cars, pulling police horses. You know, you see when horses that get pulled on the road, you see them, you can look into them and see them. Somehow I pulled into the line of cops and I was right behind the horse. Okay. As I'm going, Route 46 has a lot of construction. The cops went over a big bump. The back end of the horse thing opened. And I guess the horse got spooked and he started shitting. And it went right on the hood of my car. And I actually took a picture because people were like, no fucking way. This is the picture. You can't see the shit on my car. That's the thing. It opened up. They let it go, took a picture, and then got to the side. But that's something that would happen to you, Greg, with
Yes,
just
it
shit
is.
out of the back. You know?
First of all, you've been hanging out with me too long.
Yes.
Second of all, if it was me, I would have, being that I don't have heat or air conditioning in my car, right? Because it's fucking broke a long time ago. So I have the window open. So I would have had a horse mud pie hit me right in the fucking face. And that would have been my luck. And with my luck, you know me, I talk a lot. So I would have been talking, my mouth would have been open, and I would have had a fucking mud pie in my mouth.
Yep. Route 46 was full of horse shit going out.
Oh, I know Route 46 over there in Jersey.
Yeah. Right by Broken Cadillac. I was going down and I was like, oh, I just got my car washed. You know, Natalia said that's good luck. I said, I don't think so.
It's good luck when a bird shits on you, not a horse.
Yeah. That's the guy. John Mancini said that's the guy, Sister Nino curse.
Yeah. Why is that happening to Guy? A Guy's my good friend. Guy used to train at my gym when
Guy said he would jump on with us. He said he would jump.
I love Guy. Guy and I go way back. Yeah.
Yeah. Wilson H says reminds me of Biff Tannen. Yes, exactly, Biff Tannen. Except the shit was coming out all over the cars, and people were beeping at the cops and giving them a finger. They were just laughing. They didn't pull over nothing. M Trap says your daughter's a mechanic and you have a broken AC.
Yes. My daughter actually just fixed my fucking transmission. I thought I blew the transmission, some sort of cord or something. I couldn't put it in park or reverse, so I had to drive it to the thing, and she took care of that. And now it works.
Girl Dave said, Joe, tell Greg I sent him a pic of my cats. Check out how cute they are. Well, let's hope no one's eating those cats. I hope, Guru.
So what are you talking about, Dave? You sent them to me on a text.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said.
Oh, I see his text right there. Nice.
Windward Attack said, no way, Joe. That's real crazy. Talk about a shitty day. That was a shitty day.
Dave, you're funny. I think that's your girl.
Natalia said, Jimmy said his health is perfect. Yeah, Jimmy's okay. He's doing okay. We talked to him.
Jimmy's good. Jimmy actually is pretty healthy, you know?
Yeah, he just sometimes gets a little bit crazy and upset about stuff.
Yeah, he's good.
Windward Crap said, Joe and Greg expect a third assassination attempt against Trump before the election. Mark my words. Yes, I believe that too.
And even before the election, if he wins, you have November till January, till he takes office. If I was him, I'd pull a Kamala Harris / Biden, and I'd stay in Mar-a-Lago, and I wouldn't do shit until it's time for me to get sworn in. Because I'm going to tell you something. There'll be people going high gear to stop him from taking that office if he wins.
Yeah. Well, he wears a bulletproof vest currently, I believe. They said he does.
I don't know. I saw him today talking. It didn't look like he had no vest on underneath that fucking
Really?
thing. Normal, yeah. But you know what? I mean, I don't know. You better have just all I know. If that was Biden and Harris, it wouldn't have happened. I'm just telling you that now. And you know, they I believe. I don't know what I'm not going to say, but I just think that like these people were involved with certain other people. I'm just saying it's too much bullshit.
Yeah. Dan said he doesn't think Trump can sit still. Well, I guess by him moving all the time, he's gonna dodge those bullets.
This last guy would have been 100 feet away from the 6th hole. That's what Eric Trump was saying. Donald was about to come to the 6th hole, and until they saw that fucking gun sticking through the leaves. And I don't know how they saw it because those are hedges which have like branches and shit sticking out.
Yeah.
So it was 100. He would have been 100 feet. It would have been like that guy would have shot him. It would have been like Trump might as well just stood right in front of the gun and said, "Shoot me." It would have been done, and he would have fucking went pop, 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 pop like this. I'm just telling you. So he got away. I don't know how that guy saved his life. That one would have been a really bad one because this guy was smart. He followed him around. Greg,
Anthony D said, Greg, do you and Joe like sushi?
No, Anthony D. I have a friend that shit out a tapeworm. He had 8 feet out of his ass and he pulled it and it snapped and went back.
No way.
He had another 8 feet taken out. Yes, from eating sushi. There's a lot of people who get that fucking. You're not supposed to eat raw fish. You ever see Evan Sanapani, who's one of my boys? You ever see a picture of him? A video. There's a video he had on YouTube where he was eating cod steaks and he was there with fucking tweezers and he's pulling out these long skinny worms out of this dude. And I know, he says, I know I'm not going to get all of them. You're going to miss some of them, but still, dude, I don't give a fuck. You pull them all out. I'm not eating no fucking, even if it's cooked and the eggs are dead now and the worms are dead. I'm not eating that shit.
Girl Dave Smith said, I think it's just BS to make him scared to fly so he doesn't campaign about Trump's plane. They might go after Trump's plane.
Listen, there's no way you can go after that. But do you really think that they're gonna fly? They don't check that plane out. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm saying that would be such an inside job. That's nothing that somebody from the outside is going to be able to sabotage a plane. No way. No way.
Windward said they got
great. Lee just said, fuck sushi, eat, fuck sushi, wankers eat that. Yes, Lee. Lee, that shit's bad, man. My friend, if you heard the story, he thought he was shitting out his intestines. He said he had a bad stomach for like a long time, and he thought he was shitting out his intestines. And he's like this big black jack dude. You know what I mean? I'm good friends. I used to sell him drugs and shit. And he's shitting the fucking thing. He said, I'm pulling this fucking thing out. And I realized when I realized it's a worm, I'm pulling it out. I pulled out about 8 feet and it snapped. And then it went right back up his ass. And he had to go to the hospital. And he said they took out another 8 feet. That's what you get for eating sushi.
Lee said it's his plane and Vance did not have those emergency landings.
Well, I still think he fucked up Vance. I'm not a big Vance guy. I like Vance, but I don't think him and Trump are too close to being alike. And Vance is a little bit like snooty, so to speak, because he made Scott all. He went from trailer park to fucking
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, and nothing worse when people go to these Japanese restaurants and they use chopsticks and don't have chopsticks at home, so they're trying to look intelligent.
Yeah, Lee, that's one of my. It's funny you say that, Lee, because they do that in Chinese restaurants too. You see the old Jews over there with the fucking, with the chopsticks, and they're sitting there eating. They feel like, yeah, man, we're eating with chopsticks because we're eating Chinese food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Lee, we gotta find out. Lee, are you going on that cruise?
Lee, don't go on that cruise. That cruise is bullshit. They're going to want you to take your shirt off and like fucking a musclehead cruise. Plus, I ain't going out in the middle of the ocean. Did you see the other day Armand was out? He was on a cruise. And he's like, well, the boat's been moving a little bit, so I haven't been able to sleep. I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't sound good. And then he opens up the window and he shows, and you see like the water's it's all darkish and shit, it's overcast and the waves are a little choppy and shit. I'm like, dude, you just sold me. First of all, I don't see any land, and I'm not going on no fucking cruise, and I'm not doing a musclehead shit. Like, I'm at it like 4 or 5 days out in the middle of the ocean, just talking about bodybuilding all day, having fans. Hey, dude, let's have a pose down. I ain't doing that. It's not happening.
Lee, there's a link if you want to jump on.
Do you have a link?
I sent him a link if you want to jump on. Tell if he's going on a cruise.
Okay, I keep forgetting. That's because I'm not on StreamYard.
Yeah. Travis says has spoken to Greg spoken to who? I said has Greg spoken to? I don't know who.
Who's that? Who's asking me that?
I don't know. Someone said Greg. Has he spoken to? And I guess he's saying something else.
Have I spoken to who, Travis?
Yeah, we don't know. Greg would die hanging on an iceberg till the ship sinks.
Dude, let me tell you something. I would be on, even if they had rowboats, I'd be on a rowboat that has a fucking hole in it too. Don't go on dude, even if you see me at the grocery store, don't get on the same line as me, because that's when I could be on a line when nobody else is. There could be a long, and as soon as I get on, sorry, we have to change the paper. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. John Mancini said, Joe, can't wait to see your mob podcast with us. Yes, I interviewed Larry Mazza, who was a member of the Colombo crime family worked on the Greg the Grim Reaper Scarpa. He's a great guy. And look who I got coming here. He's going on the cruise with us. He's going on the cruise with us.
It's time to say, what are you doing? What's going on?
You get on the cruise with us.
I'm laying on the bed waiting to go get a haircut.
Are you really? Me too.
I thought you're waiting for P Diddy.
Yes. He's behind me with the 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
That's what I said, Lee. For $40 million, I would have blown him and all the guys there. You know what I'm saying?
I got him lined up, and then there's Usher and Bieber standing in line behind them.
Shit.
And then Oprah's behind them to come clean up the mess with a big fat face.
Yeah, she probably got a strap on too. Yeah, she's disgusting.
With Stedman, her fucking fake boyfriend.
Yeah, is she still with that fucking guy? That's been like since the 80s. They still ain't married.
I know. That's a fake marriage, like Michelle Obama and Barack.
Are you going on that cruise, Lee, or what?
No, I'm not going on the cruise. Why would I fly 24 hours to go on a fucking ship in the middle of nowhere.
And then have a bunch of dudes like, Dave's like, we should walk around with our shirts off and we can have like pose downs and stuff. And I'm like,
yeah,
oh, that's just what I want to do.
Imagine everyone by the pool flexing, and then just the general public looking over, going, "What wankers! Look at these bodybuilders."
I know. Then he said that we could play a game. Like they have games like where you solve like murders, like Clue and shit. Like who did it? And,
yeah, it's like you blindfold yourself, and we're going to play pin 3 cc's in the bicep.
I like that.
It's like pin the tail on the donkey, but we just close our eyes and inject people in weird spots.
Dude, who the fuck wants to go to fucking a cruise though? I mean, I'm not going to no ocean like that. Fuck that,
I'd rather get a bunch of guys, you, me, and Jimmy, and go to Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, that'd be a different story. I'd like that. Well, I like us to go to Dave and Buster's, but I don't want to go no fuck. He knows if you go, I go, whatever. Jimmy will go on, and then I picture Jimmy. Nice pussy.
I tell you, when I get in bed, Greg, the pussy follows.
That's it. I can tell.
Wow, where you go, it follows.
That's right.
I'm a magnet.
You're a pussy magnet. So what time is it over there right now, Lee?
Let me see if my time comes up on here. I don't think. Hold on, I got to turn it this way to get the time. It's 10:30 on a Friday morning.
Oh, okay. Because you were getting a haircut over here. It's late, so I'm like,
I'm just going to get a trim, and then I've been seriously thinking about selling my 68 Camaro, because over here the cheapest one is like 80-odd thousand, and that. Then the guy I was trying to sell it to, has a car. He's like, I can get these for 20,000-30,000. I said, where from? He goes, the auction's in America. I said, well, that's in a fucking America, and you got to import it over here. You got to do all this shit for it. I'm like, he's like, well, that's all it's worth. I said, yeah, in America. I said, look at the car prices here. The cheapest one's 80. The most expensive one is like 150,000 for a 68 Camaro.
But what
I've been thinking of selling it, because I really, out of all the years I've had for like Corvettes and Dodge Vibe, I've had all the cars, Lotus Esprits, Aston Martins, but my favorite one is still the old military Humvee, and I think I might go back to that.
Wow.
Definitely. I could always go for a good Hummer. But
you can just go anywhere. If the way the world's going, at least I can go Mad Max beyond Thunderdome to the mountains.
I love that car.
You live with the Aborigines, Lee. You would tell them I identify as an Aborigine now.
Well, you can now, and just get all the land rights and get all your free benefits. And I think they're not allowed to question it too, as long as you're not trying to rip the government off money. But if I put down I'm Aboriginal, I go for a home loan and car loans. If you can't pay it off, the government pays it off for you. So I'm just going to put I'm Aboriginal.
That's the way it is here. I mean, the story over here, these fucking...
Well, look at, what's her name? That woman in fucking Congress. Is it Liz Warren? What's her name?
Liz Warren.
She's fucking Cherokee, isn't she? Or...
Yeah, one of her eyelashes might have a 1,000th of a fucking gene in there. You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit.
Kamala's Indian, black, and maybe next week she'll be fucking Puerto Rican, whatever she's appeasing to. One day she's in New York going, hello, my fellow constituents. Thank you for being here. Next day she's in Harlem. What's up, my niggas? How we all doing today? Shit, let's all go. She changes like the fucking weather, that thing.
Oh, yeah. If she went to Little Italy, she'd be talking about Buffalo. You know what I mean?
If she come to Australia, she'd be like, g'day, wankers. How yous all going? Crikey, you going to vote for me?
Joe Biden did the same thing. So far, he's been Puerto Rican, Jewish. What else was he? He was black when he was a kid. The whole bit. He pulls all that.
She'll probably go to the house with no steps tomorrow and be like, hello. Then she'll go to the school of the deaf and she'll be like,
she will. That's exactly what
she just fits in wherever she goes.
She'll go to Miners Hospital and be in a wheelchair, wheeling to everybody.
She'll go visit the vets and cut off one of her legs. I know how you feel. I've lost a leg.
I'm surprised she doesn't go to
NPD said, Lee, I remember the Hummer from the 98 Battle of the Olympia video.
Oh, yes, I had a couple. I had the wagon one. I didn't really like the wagon. I like the 4-door with the tray in the back, and that's what I'd probably go to. But the ones here, the one I'm looking at, is very just like, because you got the H1 Hummer. People think that the Humvee and the Hummer, the H1 Hummer is the more civilian. The Humvee is pretty much still just military standard basic.
How much does that cost?
Over here, they're about 70,000, 80,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know,
you can get them at an auction over there for like 10 grand.
you ever get the one? I used to be in Steve Blackman's Humvee. I think that was a military one. You ever see it?
No, his was a Hum H1, but I had one similar. I had like the normal one because it has the radio and all that in. The Humvees are just the gauges on the thing and the air vent. You don't have no modern concept.
I thought he had a military. I thought he got it from a military thing. It was very basic though inside. I used to go to dinner with him in that fucking thing. You know?
It's good how you sit a long way away from people, isn't it? It's hard to it's hard to be driving down the road getting a hand job in a Hummer.
Yes, it is.
You need long arms.
Yeah, Christ. But it's easier to get a BJ though, because if fucking, when you don't have the steering wheel and shit in the way, you can kind of like lay
Right,
side.
you can just lay in that middle piece that covers the engine.
Yeah, those were the days though. Blackman was a good man. What's his saying? Who is that? Is that John Dairy? No, John's.
No, only shitty part of Humvee is 6.5 turbo diesel and their slugs.
Yeah, but look, that's what I hate when people say, look, it does like 60, 70 miles an hour. The thing's like a tank. And I had a guy once, I was going on the on-ramp near Marina Del Rey, and there's a sharp turn on the freeway. I was sitting on like, 60, 100 kilometers or more. A guy was in a Camaro beside me. He had to hit the brakes to do the turn. I just left it flat to the floor because it's got the wide wheelbase, no body roll. I overtook that Camaro into turn. He's like, whoa. So, yes, they're not the fastest thing, but guess what? If I'm racing that Porsche along the I-15 going to Vegas, I can hit that switch and go off the road into the sand and the dirt and keep on going. That Porsche 911 ain't following me. He ain't going through the water. He ain't going through the mud. So shut up, you fucking wankers.
Yeah, that's what I say. If you're going to get a Hummer, bro, you get that to drive up the side of a mountain and over.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, I had a Yukon, when I got arrested. And my Yukon, it was an XL, had the doors that open this way, not that way, and that fucking, the back door.
Well, you had a Yukon because you had lots of product to sell out the back.
That's right. And they have the fucking whole back was filled with stacks, cases of Starr's fucking shit. But
I should have had a Humvee, Greg, and been selling it up the mountains, and you wouldn't have got caught.
Yeah, but I could have drove that Yukon up a glacier. Those things handle. They're made to be that kind of car. And
you should have been selling your product into Appalachians.
Yeah, put and shit in their mouth, But the thing is, you could, when you get a Hummer, you don't get a Hummer to fucking race cars. You get a Hummer to go where fucking, they can't even, your cops can't chase you up the side of it. You can go in a fucking.
I used to go cruising, like I said, you'd be on the Los Angeles on the 10 or the 405, and everyone's in their snooty Corvettes and that. No one lets you merge. It's like, let a car in, one car, keep it going. California, no one lets you in. So if you got a Hummer, you just put the indicator on and start moving over. They'll stop.
I think Arnold had one similar to that, yours, I think.
Yeah, he had the military one. He had a very military one, which was funny because I used to always laugh because Arnold would go to the Arnold Classic, and you'd think the president was coming. There's a motorcade of 6 police bikes, his fucking limousine, 6 police cars, more motorbikes. You're like, all this security. But then he would come to the gym in Venice driving his military Hummer, no doors, no windows, smoking a cigar, sitting at the traffic lights. I'm thinking, why does he need all the security in Columbus? He's driving around LA in a car with no doors and windows, just sitting there like, hey.
Dude, I saw him in 81 in Venice riding a bicycle. He rode
Yeah.
I saw him in Venice when I was walking, and I had taken a bus, and he was driving around in a bike.
He rides a bike a bit. That's why I always find it funny when in LA, which is a pretty rough city, all the crazies there, no security, but in Columbus, it's like the president's coming through.
Well, you remember that shit? I was there when they fucking, before he came to us, he had like fucking all the Secret Service in there. With
Oh,
all
they
the-
push all the people away. Push all the people away.
Yeah.
They had guard dogs. They first came first to sniff out if we had any kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like bombs or something or guns. You know, they had these guard dogs coming in and they were like sniffing all our shit and everything. And then his crew came.
And just a shout out to Jack Zapata. My nephew's in the hospital. He actually got hit in football.
Oh shit!
Just shout out to George at the
Jackson.
hospital with his name. Jax. He's in the.
I get better.
Well,
yeah,
they get like concussion hit or just a big hit?
I think it's a concussion hit. He must have got kids. George is in the hospital. My brother George is in the hospital with his.
Oh, George, give our best to his son. God bless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Jackson. That's the one I met, right?
Yeah. No, you met Landon.
Wait, which one did I meet?
Landon, I think you met Landon.
Oh, Landon. You're right, Landon.
Landon, the big one.
Jackson's the younger one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, Greg, you're not going to go on and do the rehearse the Titanic with Lee?
No.
Little scene
Up the front of the boat.
Yeah.
No. Me and Lee are not going on no Titanic. I'm not going on. I don't want to go on a boat. I don't like boats. I don't want to go where I can't see the fucking shore and that thing's moving like this.
It's not even you can't see the shore. It's like you're just stuck there for like 6 days with that same group of people.
Oh. That's what I'm talking about, Lee. And
What was that movie? What was that horror movie where they went on that big ship and the ship was haunted and it was like killing people? There was like spirits on the ship and
I saw that. I forgot.
They'll get murdered. Was it Ghost Ship or something?
Right, it's something like that. Yeah.
That'll be. But that's what the perfect thing. Greg and I could go around at night time, find these people that are drunk and just toss them overboard. If there's no cameras.
Lee, these guys will all be taking so much shit too, so that they can look good with their shirts off, walking around.
Could you imagine?
What I want to do is, come on, Lee, come on out here. Let's see that. Measure arms. Come on, let's do stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't want, but I'm
go down the slide. Get on the slide and go into the pool. Come on there.
No, but Dave wants us to all walk around with our shirts off and have like pose downs with the customer, like what do you call them? The
Could
fans.
you imagine? It'd be like a fucking fucked up saggy tit retirement village of old men sitting by the pool reliving their glory days.
Saggy tit.
We'd all be sitting there like, oh, look at us, our tits sagging. We got that loose skin over here on the chest part.
Oh my God! No, I don't want to do that shit. And then sit and talk about bodybuilding all day. So did you ever did you take Tren? How much Tren? If I mix Tren, I don't want to hear that shit.
Greg, now you're sitting in the sun, Greg. What do you find is the best combination? Coconut oil mixed with this. What gives you the brownest skin? Do you think, Greg?
Baby oil.
Should I moisturize now, Greg, or should I wait till later?
Lee, do you take Melanotan? Like, do you inject that shit?
No, I took that twice, and I got the worst stomach cramps. I never took it again.
I would never take it because my friend was vomiting from that shit, and I'm like,
no,
that cured me. I
used it twice, never used it again. I heard people, I just put up with it and go through it. That's why I'm still amazed. Like I took Tren 4 times my whole life. The 4th time, I mean, my chest got that tight, and I was coughing. I thought I was a goner. And now I hear these people on these podcasts, or when I take Tren, I get very angry. I can't sleep. It makes me this. I'm thinking, why would you put that in your body if that's how it makes you feel, you fucking idiot?
You're right.
That's what I say. And I tell everybody, when you and I are together, we have dinner together. We've been in hotels together everywhere.
Never talk nothing.
Never talk about bodybuilding. Never.
And I tell people, Paul Dillette lived with me for 8 months. I couldn't count the amount of days at the firehouse. Me, Stridham, Paul Dillette, Chris Cormier, Flex Wheeler, Matarazzo. In 10, 15 years or more, not once did we discuss training or what somebody took. Never once did we ask, what are you taking? What did you use? The photo shoots we did at like Club Metrics the day after the competitions, Flex and I, Nasser and I. We weren't like, oh, what did you use yesterday? Did you take diuretics to do this? Like, we never talked about it once. We just didn't care. Who gives a shit? It's like,
But can you imagine being on that boat, Dave? Like we could have seminars each day. We could do some training. We all train the people.
Oh, we're gonna have shot parties where you could go to each other's room and take a shot.
We'll have a white party.
Yeah.
White party.
We'll do this. We line up the needles. We line up the vodka. A shot of vodka. A shot of test. A shot of vodka. A shot of test.
Joe from Ohio. What's up, Joe from Ohio?
Thank you, Ian. I see Ian saying that they were hard on me. They could do all that shit. Dave knows what I do. He just has to do that for a show.
But I noticed that the other day. But Dave's done that to me. It's like Dave always makes it like he's the only one that works, and it's like, what do you do all day, Greg? Now, Greg, tell us, from when you get up, what do you do? She's doing all that. She's doing that. What are you doing, Greg? You're sitting there. What are you doing? You got all day just to sit around. And that's like that time I was waiting for Dave to do the show, and he's an hour late or more. And I'm thinking, Dave,
I remember
I got to meet a guy to train with, and that. Then Dave's just like, well, what else you got to do for the rest of the day? I'm like, I do have a life, Dave.
I remember saying that to me. Lee texted me after the show. Lee texted me and said, I guess it's Bash Greg Day today on our, because he just does that. Listen, I got to do physical work here. You know what I mean? Plus, I do a lot of other shit.
Greg's got to fucking stick heads on statues and glue their arms on and stuff, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you know how hard and time consuming this is to... Hey, I got one like that. I
know you probably got a ton of shit over there.
When you put that one on, when I put mine on, the mouth moves when you talk. Does your mouth move?
I think this isn't a mask. This is a guy, like it's I can't see, it's dark, but I have a big like a werewolf. I don't know if you can see it, but I don't know. Do you see the body?
I'm like a Halloween.
I see the body there. Yeah,
see the body? Like that body? We're putting it together. Plus,
mine. I put the mask on, and when I talk, the werewolf mouth.
No, there's your mother-in-law.
You know, but the thing is, we do dirty shit. Like me and her are gonna work tonight. We work all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't sit around write diets or cookie cutter diets and send it out and all that shit all day. Make phone calls. Like that's really tough stuff.
Come on, you're just sleeping on the couch, drinking diet root beer, doing nothing.
What's up, John? John Livia's there.
Yeah, I gotta pay the bills in this house. Nobody's paying my bills. You know what I mean, like, how do you think I survive a house like
Greg's this? Greg's out there rearranging the fucking lawn furniture and the statues. That's a big job. That's a big job. He's got. You see how many statues he's got out there? That takes a lot of work.
Yeah, Lee, everybody laughs because when Lee comes over the house, I still got people saying they laugh when you said to me, when I said to you, because Lee was over my house, and when he saw the statue, I said, Lee, you see all these statues? He goes, where the fuck you think I'm blind? Of course I did.
And then down the side of the house, he's got the bedroom. He's got the fucking sinks and the bathroom sinks and the bricks and the tiles and the fucking.
I do. I have sinks. I got, you name it. We sell all that shit. She just sold shit today. But I mean, but Lee, we got more statues since you were here.
Yeah, you got a Kamala Harris statue.
You come back. We gotta have you back. We'll do more crazy shit.
Get that Kamala Harris statue out, Greg.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Greg's not in there at fucking Liberty Island trying to drag the Statue of Liberty to his house.
Imagine that. Would be fucking skyscraper over here. Look at that big statue.
In the morning, it's disappeared and it's in Greg's front yard.
You know what's funny? What would be funny is I have it on like a giant dolly and I'm pulling it with my fucking Hyundai Elantra going like 2 miles an hour like this. You see the thing going down the street real slow.
Greg would be like somewhere in France or in Italy and be like, yeah, I think we can get that tower home. Yeah, I think it'll be. Yeah. Or that leaning tower, Greg would be like, yeah, I think we can jack that up. Right?
I'll straighten it out. Now it's straight. We'll be leaning the other way. You know, but it's, as an Italian American, I can say this. Only Italians could build a tower that's fucking.
Hey, John, thanks for the $9.99, John. John Livia sent.
Oh, John Livia, how you doing, John?
Yes.
John, I think I got a text from you. Did I? Well, I'm on the thing here. I think that's him, right, Joe?
Yeah. I think that's John, because he told you. I told him to text you. Lee did a show with him. It was a great show. Lee.
Yes, I was meant to crash his show yesterday, but I was doing a podcast with Wendy and Dave.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
And I wouldn't let Dave get a word in near the end because I had like my heart thing done and my cholesterol had gone up a bit because I was taking this statin and I was feeling really good on it. My cholesterol was almost down to 0. Dave tells me, Lee, statins are bad for you. Statins are bad. So I stopped taking it. And my doctor says, when did you stop taking it? And I told him, he's like, oh, I'm looking at your CT scan here and that. Since I stopped taking it, I got in one of my arteries, I got 50% blockage. So I'm like, fuck you, Dave. Now I'm going to fucking die. Dave said I'm going to die. So when Dave was talking, I kept cutting him off. He's like, you keep cutting me off. I said, of course I'm going to cut you off because you said I'm dying next week. So I'm going to say what I got to fucking say right now.
That's funny. What statin are you on? Because I'm on Crestor.
Yeah, just a mild Crestor.
Rovastatin.
And I was on that before. And my last heart check when I went back, he's like, oh my God, Lee, yeah, my calcium had gone from 170 down to like 60 odd. He goes, your heart's improved and that. So then I listened to Dave and stopped taking the stat. Now he's like, oh, this artery here, I forget what it is. I can send you the result. Has like 50% blockage. I'm like, oh, thanks, Dave. thanks for telling me to stop the statin.
That's funny. Yeah, he tried to stop me too. He wanted me to take something else, a blood pressure thing, and I don't even really need it. But the thing is, the statin is important. I Rovastatin. I take it, and my cholesterol went down.
Yeah, and I was feeling good. Like some people, I hear some people have different. It's like any medication. We all react different to it, but it didn't affect me in any way at all. It just made me better. Now Dave's trying to kill me off.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you take? I take just one a day.
Yeah, just one. Yeah, just one little one. It's only like a 10 milligram, I think, or 5.
That's what I take in the morning. I take it when I wake up. That's it.
Yeah.
But it works, Lee. I dropped my fucking cholesterol down.
But that's what I said. Last time I went, the doctor was so happy. He's like, oh, your heart is the best it's ever been. And then I go back this time, well, you got like 50% blockage of cholesterol. And I'm like, oh, thanks.
What do they do about that, Lee? Do they have to do something, or do you take something else?
I think I just go back on the statins and that, and it will slowly go again. But
my brother said red blood cells are high. What is that? Sky high. What does that mean? Answer my question. I don't know who wrote that.
I know some people get. Is that when some people go on gear and their iron and the red blood cells get high and they have to get blood taken out? Or
I think so, but George is not on anything. George doesn't take steroids.
Yeah,
he's not on testosterone.
No, he's not on anything. No, so I don't know why.
He's on the Viagra. That's what it is.
I'm not sure. I forgot what high red blood cells mean.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ask Dave.
As long as there's not, isn't it? If you get too many white ones, isn't that like
infection,
leukemia or something, or you're fighting something? Or,
I'm not sure.
But just ask us. We're all professional doctors here. We know what we're talking about.
That's the problem with bodybuilders, okay? That we all think we know what we're talking about. That's why they're dropping like flies.
Yeah. We go to Dr. Google, and everything on Google's cancer, so we're all fucked.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, I know Lee feels pretty much the same way. As we get older, we don't give a shit about being jacked anymore. We care more about living a longer life.
Yeah.
So I don't take bodybuilding supplements. Like I'm not looking at creatine, get me bigger or jacked. I take things to help the liver, the heart, kidneys, shit like that. That's all I give a shit about.
The best one I found for liver, and my friend actually tested it because he had all his blood work done, is that one by Himalaya, the Live 52.
You saw that I had that at my house.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah.
I take the Live 52 to DS.
And they actually have a real good one too, Greg. Same company. I forget what it is.
Life.
I took it for a while, but it's for your blood. It actually cleans your blood from the same company.
Do you remember what it's called?
No. If you go on their site, I can't remember the name, but it'll tell you. It almost looks like the same bottle. It comes in liquid or tablets, but it's for cleaning your blood. If you take too much at first, you'll like it. It makes you shit a lot and cleans you out. But then it's for detoxing your blood. And the good thing is, like, they even did tests on it in India because a lot of these people, they go swimming in that river. What is it, the Ganges, where they get it dead? It's like if we swam in that, we would be fucking sick and have all problems and probably hepatitis.
Dude, these
people swim in that, they take these liver 52 and that, and they're fucking fine.
But dude, can you imagine if they dried that river up? Can you imagine the bones? Because they push dead people out in that river, right? Don't they put them on fire? Fucking put them out there and shit, and let the river take them and shit.
Okay.
Imagine
it'll be like digging up Hitler's pizza oven.
Oh God. That water's like thick. It's almost like fucking hand cleaner and shit. So thick, you know what I mean? Because it's a billion dead bodies.
Do you know how to fit 100 Jews in a V Dub, in a Volkswagen?
I'm afraid to ask how.
2 in the front, 2 in the back, and 96 in the ashtray.
Oh God. I know so.
Okay. Windward Attack has a question. He said, Lee, what's the secret to have 4 COVID injections and not dying from all the blood clot side effects?
I don't know. I think taking aspirin, because I think that's where that's what I was saying before. A lot of bodybuilders can take gear, and I know, is it the hematocrit or whatever, but I know some people, when they just take steroids alone, the iron in their blood gets thick and they have to get blood taken out because their blood gets thick. And I was thinking, if you're one of those people who naturally gets thickened blood from steroids, so if you're doing steroids and your blood gets thick, and then you take the vaccine on top of that and you're susceptible to getting clots from that, that's like a double whammy. So I'd get it checked if you are one of those people where if steroids make your blood thick and you've had the vaccine, I'd probably go get it checked just to see where your levels are at. Because like you said, it's amazing, isn't it? Because you hear these people, when you think of the human body, and like these ones that get, what's that embolism they get in their lungs? Like one little clot, and you fucking drop dead. You figure, how could one little fucking thing like that take you down? It's like the old story of the lion that got that little fucking thorn in its foot, and the fucking mouse had to get it out. You wouldn't think something so small could just drop people. It's like,
oh, that's insane.
Well, I think a regular blood test can test it. Like, I think if you went to the doctor and got a blood, they would know, hey, your blood's a little thick. No, wouldn't they know that if you took a blood test?
I know if you like, is it your CK creatine? Because I know generally, I had mine really thick once. I had to go to hospital because I wasn't drinking a lot, but I was training hard. And it's like anything, when you're breaking the muscle down, your muscles release like that toxin, the creatine, into the bloodstream. And if you're not drinking enough, your blood gets thick. Because when I went to have mine done, mine was like 3,000 odd. And I think he meant to be under in the high hundreds. And the doctor's like, what were you doing? I said, I was training for a contest and that. I said, why? He goes, normally we see levels this high on crash victims. Like if you're in a motor vehicle accident, and your body gets hit hard, your muscle releases those toxins into you. And that's what, can cause you sometimes. There's been a lot of people who have been trapped in cars and pinned, and the muscle builds up all that poison and toxins. And then when they actually release the person, all those toxins go into the blood and kill them. I remember there was one sad one where this guy was actually pinned between a car and a tree, and they actually got the chaplain and his wife and that to come say goodbye to him because he was pinned from the waist. Once they removed the car, the toxins just went into his body and pretty much killed him. So he pretty much had to say goodbye to everyone while he was pinned. I'm thinking, that's a fucking shitty way to go, isn't it?
You know what's funny? That's why they tell you, all joking aside, that if you see a deer that's been hit by a car on the side of the road and it just died, they tell you don't try to eat it as roadkill because the toxins poison everything in the meat. Like it's not good to go get a deer that was just hit by a car, cut it up and eat it.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Sometimes people die, even like on work sites, someone gets crushed and you think you're going to help the guy by lifting the beam off him. And actually, if it's bad, nothing can kill him. That's why sometimes they make those decisions where if you're trapped somewhere and your leg's really trapped, sometimes they'll tie your leg off and amputate it rather than all those toxins go into your body because it'll just kill you.
Jesus Christ. That's crazy.
I could think about that next time when I'm jacking off, because if I squeeze on my cock too hard and then I let it go, the toxins might fucking...
Well, no offense, but I've seen pictures of your cock.
and I survived. Have you ever seen any abuse like that before in your life?
Oh my God, that was...
Next time someone puts up a picture of Nicole Simpson and how badly beaten she was, put up a picture of my cock beside and say nothing.
Let me tell you something. Lee took my phone when he was at my house, and he put his cock picture as my fucking wall. He put the wall on my phone. And
that was just blood and needles hanging out the side.
That thing was purple. The funniest thing was he was black and blue up to here. this whole like black and blue, but it looked like I was like, Jesus Christ, you got a hairy
Looked
cock.
like an eggplant.
But it was black and blue.
And needles in it, blood all around.
My own.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was crazy. Looked like an eggplant.
Yeah. I
It
had
did. Looked
I had
pretty crazy.
these
That was like the real emoji.
I was like, what the hell is this? When I first saw the phone, I was like, wait a minute, is that a dick? And then there's this dark, like
You thought is that Kai Green guest posing somewhere?
That's what it looked like. It looked like Kai Green. Kai Green looks like the California raisin when he's all fucking oiled up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was quite the dick pic.
Yeah, it was. That was quite.
Holy shit. That's right. I forgot you saw it too. Did he put it on your phone too? No, right?
I saw it.
Like I said, it's an experience I will always remember in hospital.
Yep.
The way that doctor showed me love, stabbing me repeatedly with the needle in there.
P Diddy really wants to see it.
Yeah, dude.
Drawing blood out of it. And as he's doing it too, he's actually, but as he was holding it too, this was making me weird. Like I told you, as he's doing it, he's talking to my mate Adam that took me there, and he's asking, so how often do you two have sex and that? I'm like, oh, he thinks we're gay. Just because my mate took me there, and then as he's squeezing it and stabbing it, he's like, oh, you have nice girth. I'm like, can you please not talk about my cock? Can you just
Ooh, it's pretty thick. Wait, let me see how it tastes.
yeah. Can I just around the top? Yeah, that makes it feel better.
Well, you got a piece of dirt. Let me see.
Did
Can
the
you
nurses?
do what my mum does when I'm in pain? She always gives it a kiss better. Can you kiss it for me?
You should have had the Huck 2 girl as your doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any of the nurses see it, Lee? Any of the nurses?
No, thank God it was just that. I dreaded that. The first hospital I went to, it was a nurse, and she brought out the big bowl of ice water and bandages and wrapped it like the mummy so tight, like she's put knee wraps on. And then she just kept squeezing it for like 20 minutes. She goes, I don't think this is working. I'm like, no shit, I don't think it is. That's when they sent me to the other hospital. I'm thinking, I bet I'm going to get there and there's going to be a room full of people. I'm going to have to drop my pants. This is going to be embarrassing. But luckily, it was just the one male doctor in there. So
Okay.
Yeah, nobody.
But the security guys knew me. They're like, hey, Lee, what are you doing here? I'm sort of bent over. Like,
What are you here for?
You don't want to know right now what I'm doing.
Yeah, but these guys here don't understand. They think maybe what happened to his dick? Why was he going to? He did the prostaglandin, right?
Yeah,
I took the two Viagra, but then I took that Keflajet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which gives you guys a hard on. What people don't realize, you have to go to a doctor that actually measures how long it takes. But if you do too much of that shit, you're gonna have a corner for like 4 days.
Yeah. I was up to day 3, and my wife's like, "You're gonna have to go."
You
to
had
hospital.
3 days. That thing.
Yeah, and I said, I am not going to the fucking hospital. This is embarrassing. Midnight on the third day, I called my mate. I think we're gonna go. This is just getting too painful. It's like.
Dude, you imagine who drilled them holes in that thing, though? Jesus Christ, you had like 2 or 3 holes in there, didn't you?
No, the doctor would just stick the needle in. Well, he originally told me we're going to numb your groin. That's how the groin was all bruised.
Oh.
And he said, once we do that, we put a needle in each side and drain it. So I'm like, well, if it's numb, okay. So he puts the needle in one side, couldn't really feel it, pulls like a syringe full of blood, goes to the other side. I'm like, oh, fuck, I can feel that. Oof. And then after he did that, he did it like 10 times each side. Again, this side. Again, that side. Again, this side. And after he did that, he grabbed the base and he went like squeeze. And it's like a sprinkler. Blood coming out like a sprinkler.
Oh, my
nice.
God.
Jesus.
That's crazy. Well, I think we're going to be ending on that note.
I think I should have called Gloria Allred because I think I was sexually abused by myself. Hey. If I'd have been at one of those P Diddy parties, he would have been scared of me, that motherfucker.
Oh, he definitely would have.
I would have said, get back here, boy. We're only just beginning. Get them needles out. Let's go.
I mean, you and I might have talked about this at the house, like when you were at my house. I don't remember, but was it the needles that caused all that black and blue, or was it black and blue from the actual boner itself? Like when you went to the hospital.
That was from all the needles and the squeezing and the
Okay. All right. I understand that. But when you went to the hospital, it wasn't like that. It was just like a normal.
No, it was just had that nice red raw, like you've been banging on it for a couple of days, you know. But nothing like a fucking, like I said, nothing like Nicole Simpson after a week of a big night with OJ. It looked like Tina Turner after an argument with Ike, but you know.
Oh God!
It looked like the Jackson 5 after the father got done with him for missing the wrong note.
That's funny.
That's funny. Well, it's about an hour, so I know, Lee, you're going to get your hair cut. Greg, I got to get out of here. Always, it's fun with you guys. Love you guys.
That's why I keep those photos. So if I ever come back to America and I get reparations, I can show them my photos and show that I'm part black.
That's right. You can.
All right, guys.
Oh, P Diddy's stick probably looks white compared to that.
Ah, he got nothing on me. I got that coffee can. That coffee can girth Folgers.
Folgers in your cup.
That's part of waking up, they say, Greg.
All right, guys.
These that they use for exercise that you shake like this, they look like one of those. Lee was jerking off.
Mate, that was the beginning of it too. Massage gun on number 10 for like 10 hours. That really takes a toll on it. That really.
All right, guys.
Good. I'll give you some advice. If you are pulling on it for 10 hours with a massage gun, the next day take photos because it's that swollen and looks good. Well, get the best pics.
Use that for your Tinder fucking picture, right?
I do.
Profile.
All right, guys.
All right,
We're gonna bounce out. All right, Lee. All right, Greg. Talk to you guys later, man. Get your haircut.
All right. Have a good one.
Later, buddy.